Bacon, no bacon, no bacon, no bacon,
Bacon, no bacon.
Podcast.
Hey, all right, buddy?
Yeah, man. Sorry, I was just reading an email.
Okay, I thought you had to take a shit or something. Looked like the way.
No, that has been taken care of.
So you're on the West Coast, man.
I am.
That's
I don't know if you could see over my
crazy.
shoulder. That is not an illusion. That is
What is it?
the view. It's fucking smoky Obut.
Yeah, it looks very. Oh, that's the smoke. That's the wildfires.
Yeah.
You're getting that residual.
Well, not just wildfire.
California.
Just yeah. So it was already smoky from the wildfire in California, but an arsonist set fire to the boardwalk here in New Westminster, BC. And the boardwalk, again, I think it's standard practice that, like railway tie, they're like, remember they used to be like black in color because they soak them in oil so that they don't rot on the water, right? Because they're on the water, they're constantly getting wet. So they soak them in oil to protect them. It's like pressure treated isn't enough, so they soak them in oil to...
Poisonous.
So once you set it on fire,
oh man,
you can't, it's burning from the inside.
And it's also very bad. I think that stuff is like, you're burning oil.
Yeah. Also, it's pretty great. Not great for the global warming aspect of things.
Oh man, Greta Thunberg must be turning in her first grade class or whatever class she's in.
It's still burning too. They can't put it out.
God damn, really?
Yeah.
So they can't put out.
So there's smoke. There's smoke literally 500 meters from me.
And did they get the arsonist
and the wildfire?
Have they got their crook?
Yeah, they caught him.
They caught him. What's his motive?
They caught him yesterday. I didn't get that far.
No, you didn't get that far, and we don't know what his motive was to set fire to the boardwalk. No. He just hated sunsets. Yeah. I fucking hate sunsets.
And rollerbladers.
Get out of here.
I fucking hate rollerbladers.
Let's get rid of them all. That's crazy, man. That's very bad for the environment. I also been watching. I saw a little clip of Vancouver. Apparently, or BC in general, is just a shithole now. Right? There's a lot of homeless everywhere, and it's just people are living in poverty, and they're all out on the streets.
Well,
and
out here,
drugs.
poverty is $65,000 a year. See, that's
right. Yeah, poverty
the
is
cost of living out. The cost of living is like if you make $65,000 a year, you're living in a box.
Jeez, I don't understand why they don't see the correlation of that. Right, like everybody, California. Look at Los Angeles. You look at San Francisco. You look at Vancouver. There's a drug epidemic and homelessness, and the correlation is clearly over fucking priced housing. I don't know why they don't notice this. We need to intervene. We need to hand drugs to the homeless so people stop taking shitty fentanyl. It's like, no, why don't you just fucking make life easier for them so they don't turn to drugs in the first place because they're fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't see that. They just keep trying to fix it with fucking handing them more drugs.
The day that you're talking about there see that as socialism, basically. They're like, what? Like taking care of the...
But you're not helping them. You're making it worse.
They don't care. If you help everybody to be okay, that's socialism to them. That's why they don't want to do it. They're fucking dinks.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Well, don't give them drugs. Just help the fucking world. Just affordable housing. That's all. Just make a small shoebox condo fucking cost a fortune, or like a guy, like you said, $65,000 a year, live in a cardboard box. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Out here, the cost of living is definitely. You see it right away. Like the first gas station we pass. It's the same day, right? So it's the same day in the same country. When we left home, gas was 99 cents a liter.
Yeah.
We got here 122.
What? Why is it more expensive there if Alberta's right next to them?
Well, Alberta's not really producing gasoline right now. No, it's not worth it, right? The fucking price of oil is still too low.
They must be producing something, though.
They must be, yeah, but it's not. I don't know. But even at home, though, you could go to... around in Saint Leonard, which is right beside the refinery, gas will be 111, and then I'll get to Brassard, it'll be 105.
Yeah,
and then I get to fucking. I remember going up somewhere far.
Probably when you went to your cottage. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, yeah. You go out into the bush and it's cheaper. And the way it was explained to me that when you're not in the urban area, You know, because like the price of gas is like 75% is different taxes, right? It's all
Yeah.
there's luxury tax and fucking carbon tax and all these taxes. Apparently, when you get out into the région, there's less
Less taxes, yeah.
right? Like there's the luxury tax will instead of being whatever 30%, it's gonna be like 16%.
Yeah.
Because it's not so much a luxury out there. You fucking like farmer need fuel to do their
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
and you know like it's a need. It's
Yeah,
not
you
so,
almost, and you need to
so-
get from place to
but
place.
it does. As a person that's traveling, it don't make sense. I live, you know, like if you live in whatever in Montreal North, you're right beside the refinery. Literally, the gas had to go 2 miles to get to the pump, and you're paying more than somebody that's
crazy.
It had to go on like 6 tankers, and
Yeah,
anyway.
it's crazy. Yeah, no, I just came back from the north, man, and it's gas was like $1.01, and I was 5 hours or 4 hours from Montreal. You know, you're like in the middle of nowhere in a tiny town. You're like, I got back, and I was like, did the world crumble?
How was that, by the way?
Awesome.
How was your trip?
Amazing.
Yeah,
dude, I'm so relaxed.
So Abdul installed a fucking solar panel to power his little
Yeah,
cabin.
man, we brought up the finally tested it a bunch here, and then brought it up and lived off of it for a week. Lived
That's
off
so
of the
cool,
solar.
man.
The fridge stayed working the whole time. We had a couple days of gray weather. We got low. Luckily, I had a big battery. I bought like a decent sized battery. It weighs a ton, but it helps out when the sun doesn't show for a couple days. At least your battery can hold you.
Yeah.
And then when you get
how many prises are in the thing? Like how many things can you plug?
So
in?
I made this panel board. I could show a picture of it here. I made a panel board, and it's basically you plug in. So I've got two like 12-volt car plugs in it, and then I got a USB plug, and then I got some like quick connectors for the fridge, like other things that we just use to connect. So I have like 6 outlets hooked up to a fuse box, and then the fuse box is plugged into the battery, and then the battery is connected to the solar panel and the charge controller that regulates how much power comes from the solar panel and doesn't overcharge
That's
your
so
battery.
neat,
Yeah, it's cool, man. I learned it all this summer, just trying to figure it out and how to do it properly, and built the whole
Oh
system.
wait, okay, so the battery doesn't come with like a component that stops overcharging.
No, you have to buy
the
it.
system you set up.
Yeah, you got to get a
has
charge
to know?
controller. So your battery, your solar panel goes into your charge controller. Then your charge controller has a wire to the battery, so it'll charge it
Like
through
a
that.
two-way
Right.
communication.
So
okay.
yeah, so if your battery gets full, then it sends us like your charge controller goes, all right, it's full, stop charging it, and it'll just regulate it. And then like if you drop a little bit, it'll pop some more power into it just to keep it up.
So
to date.
technically, you could with a charge control like that, you could put a second battery. Like you
I could, yeah.
store even
I
more
can put,
power.
I can
You could store even
double,
more
triple.
power.
I can put as many batteries as I want. Connect them all, and then you basically your solar panel will charge your battery. I got to look up. There's one of them that if you connect your battery in series, I think it's in series will keep your voltage the same and just up your amperage. And parallel, I could be wrong. It's one of the two. And in parallel, I don't know if anyone even knows electricity that I'm talking about. But parallel,
it'll
if you
charge them
connect your
both at the
batteries,
same time.
I think it's parallel. It's one of the two. And if you connected one, it'll up your amperage, keep your voltage the same. If you connect it the other way, it'll keep your voltage. It'll up your voltage, but keep your amperage the same.
That's super.
So
cool.
yeah, it is pretty. It's interesting, man. It's a very. But I haven't gotten that far. I've only stuck to one battery, one solar panel. Got my charge
Well,
controller.
plus it's a lot. Like if people don't know, when Abdul go to his camp, you have to fucking trek through some bush,
Oh, my
then
God.
take a boat to the camp. See, so battery weighs about 60 pounds. It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
be fucking
crazy, man. To carry it through there, and the water was like, man, right up to almost like past my shins. Like the last trip through, the water went in my boot because we wear these big rubber boots. Trek through the sludge and mud and water to get through the path to get to the lake. So you're like carrying your fucking battery and solar panel. Hopefully you don't drop it and just scrap a ton of money. Well, the solar panel's all right because it's waterproof.
Okay.
But
So do you have to protect the battery too? Like the battery is in an enclosure?
no,
kind of
I
thing,
just
or?
carry the battery myself and just hopefully I don't
No,
fall.
but once you installed it, is it in a box or?
Well, I
it's,
keep it in the
it's
house.
Like it can get rain can fall on it.
I keep
okay,
it.
it's in the
Yeah, I
house.
keep it inside the cabin because it's a lead acid
Smart.
battery, so it's not or lead plate. Sorry, not acid. So it's just lead plates.
Right.
The other like car batteries, for example, give off like a gas, so you're not supposed to keep them inside because then you breathe that shit. But
Right.
lead plates, deep cycle batteries, you're okay. You can keep them in the house because they're just plates. There's no gas release. There's no maintenance. There's no water that you can add in or anything. It's all sealed and
Oh no, okay.
yeah, it's all sealed. So
Cool.
and that's like a deep cycle battery is more what they use for marine, like for boats and stuff, because you're using electricity. It'll give you power for a longer period of time. A car battery will give you a big jolt right away. You know, like when you just start your car.
Like a starter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So a deep cycle will still be able to do that, but it also handles long usage of electricity very well. Yeah, man, it's cool. It's wild to go up there and like
Very
now they're
cool,
running
yeah,
off
very
of
cool.
it and
And you taught yourself.
Yeah.
again. Like
yeah, I know.
it's something I'm really trying to. I want to impart it more on my kid. I can't say that my parent taught me the things that I learned. My dad taught me a little bit about cars, I guess.
Yeah.
But like for instance, all this summer building the decks and all that, no one ever really taught me. But it's a question of just approaching it without it being intimidated
Yeah.
and like figuring it out. And the first couple things you do, you make mistakes and you have to undo them. But the mistake actually teach you for next time. I see. Oh, don't cut.
Yeah,
know, don't
you
cut,
definitely
on the
honestly,
fly
and
and-
I get it. It gets pricey. That's why people get intimidated because they're like, "Oh man, if I screw up, I lose money." But honestly, man, like you have
But
to
if you
screw
don't,
up. You don't
save
learn.
so much money.
Yeah, exactly. You do save a ton in the end because, like, even with a car, if you think about it, man, I was talking to my uncle about that. We were talking about how much money people pay when you don't fix your own car, when you don't know how to fix your own car. It's crazy. Like you go to a garage
Yeah,
and you're
like-
just like, what, $1,000 for what?
Yeah. Like on the Camry this summer, we changed the hood, the fender, the bumper, the mirror, then we did the brakes
Yeah.
and the tires. Easily $2,000 for all that, and we got it done for like $550, $600.
There you go, man. You buy the parts and you do it all yourself. I mean, it's
forget it.
work, but you
The body work, just the body work, changing all those things on the body would have been $2,000, and we did it for $350.
there you go, man. It's crazy.
So
Huge.
we probably saved $3,000 doing it ourselves. And again, so now Reese has a little bit. At least he know that he's not intimidated to give it a
Yeah.
shot. Jamie got a flat this week.
Oh no.
And she's like, "Oh man, I need to put." And I'm like, "Just take the Camry." And then I was like, "You know what? No, this is a teaching opportunity."
Yeah.
So I made her change the tire.
Oh, sweet. That's perfect.
Yeah, and she had like mags on her little Hyundai Accent. She have like fucking fancy mag, so they need the adapter thing.
Okay.
Like it's not a standard bolt size, whatever. So you have to get the little adapter and then use the tire iron to take it
Yeah.
off. So I'm trying to show her that, and just she's not using. So I even have one of those great tire irons since we don't have a hydraulic, like a air.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
have one.
just manual.
But I have a really good tire iron that's in the shape of a
A T,
T,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So you
cross.
really get the leverage,
Yeah.
And even that, just watching her do it, she doesn't have logic, like inertia logic. So she would put the T like this or like this.
Okay.
She would try to go like that. I'm like, no, put it like that and fucking.
Yeah, put your weight
You
down.
know what I mean? Make it easy so you could put all your weight
Yeah.
on it. But she did it. She did it.
That's good. I'm proud.
And we when we did all that work on the Camry, we bought a good jack, like a garage
Yeah,
jack.
yeah.
Like like these on wheels there, and you.
Yeah,
And
proper
so
jack.
I'm telling her everything to do. I'm like, jack it up, okay, and I'll put it in and lock it, and then we finish. When she finished, I did have to give it that last little tighten because she's really weak. I'm shocked at how she's 21 years old. You should be in the peak of your life, Chris. And she's like, her whole weight, and it's not budging. So I gave it that last little thing so her wheel didn't fly off. But then I explained to her, okay, the jack now, okay, to let the jack down, you turn to let it down, and she turned it super quick and fucking and the car just went katong, and she was like, oh my god! I'm like, no, well, that's good. The wheel is on now,
Yeah.
at least when you did it.
But yeah,
But
just go
next time,
slow.
maybe do it a little bit
a
slower.
little slower. Yeah, that's cool, man. Dude, you need to do that. You gotta I'm so happy that she learned how to change her own tire because that's something I never understood. Like people who own a car don't know how to change a tire. And I get there's a lot of them out there. It's not a bad thing, but you should learn. It's not hard.
Yeah.
You know, change a tire
call-
ain't hard at all.
Save yourself $220 tow truck.
Just to call a tow truck for a flat, it's crazy. And then even step it
Yeah.
up, get a little kit that you can patch your tire. You know, you find
Yeah,
a
I
hole,
just didn't
find the
ha-
leak.
I didn't have any
patch it.
plugs.
Say that'll save you $100 right there.
Our neighbor did it. He was very nice. He took the tire to work, plugged it, and brought it back.
Yeah.
But then she had to put it back on. But I have a plug kit. I have the tool. I ran out of plugs.
Okay.
I didn't have any more of those
man.
little.
I'll give you some. I have a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'll give you a roll.
to go
I'll
buy
give you
some.
some plugs. Don't buy any. I'll give you some.
All right. Thanks, buddy. And
Got a ton.
could you make me a coffee, please? Yeah, I'm in
I
Vancouver.
like how
Angela came with me.
You always have somebody ready to make you a coffee, no matter where you are podcasting.
Earshot, yeah. Lupe. Lupe, no talk. Make me a coffee.
The Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Every time Derek and I, people don't know, every time Derek and I travel, we always get into the hotel. We're like, Lupe was here. She's tucked too hard.
Like fracturing our ankles as she's trying to get into bed with the fucking mega tuck.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
So for our listener, Angela came with me on this trip. I'm on a little bit of a mini tour, I guess you could call it. Back in the clubs with social distancing. And out here in Vancouver, Abdul, it's 100 people, right?
Oh.
But as we've been seeing at home, strange, it's so geographical, I find. Like in the metro... Remember I did those shows at Poutineville?
Yeah, in Vaudreuil.
Sold out every night, sold out, packed. They couldn't social distance because it's so small, so they just put a plexiglass or plastic between every table.
Okay.
But it was sold out every night. But the Comedy Nest, which is a permanent comedy club, having trouble getting the 50 people in every night,
Yeah.
you know? Out here, the room, it's huge. The room could hold 350 people. It's actually very beautiful. I hadn't been here in like 12 years.
Really?
And the club used to be Laugh Lines. Now it's Rick Bronson House of Comedy.
Okay.
What a beautiful... Dude, it's not even... It's a cush above Comedy Club. Dude, it's like an old style theater.
Really?
Like with 2 levels. Like the Rialto,
Oh,
yeah.
right,
It
in
looked a little bit
Montreal,
like
the
the Rialto.
Rialto.
They put some money into it,
Wow.
right? You've got
That's
or
pretty
like even like
big,
Club
then.
Soda. Yeah, it's like 350 easy. And so because of social distance, they're allowed to. They've gone down. They can still fit 100 people in there socially distanced.
That's pretty cool.
Last night we had 16 people, dude. And this is a Derek Seguin show. It's
Wow.
not just n'importe qui comedy
Wow,
show.
yeah, dude. You pack the rooms out there.
If anything, it was it was a little bit humbling. But
16.
people are still reluctant
man. That's
to go
why I'm
out.
telling you, it's the social media is the only way to go. Doing the online stuff now, like, I mean, for now at least, it's just crazy because it doesn't seem feasible. Like, how are you gonna keep? How are they gonna keep doing shows with 16 people? It's not gonna work. It's just too much.
No, it's just not.
Too
so
much
it
work.
have to change soon.
No outcome. You can't. And then, like,
But-
on a drop of a dime, they can just change the regulations, and now you got to cancel what you just did. Anyways, even if you do get to 100, like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I try to focus on what still works and just put my energy there.
I'm quite worried, man. Don't seem. I mean, this can't go. If this go on for even a few more months, stand up as we know it is going to be erased for a while until like maybe when things clear up again. New people will decide to open up comedy club because the market will have a need for it. But it still sucks. People that have been in the comedy business, like Rick, has only been invested here in BC for 6 months.
Shit.
Right? He invests all this money, put money into renovate the room, buying the business.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're already at 15% your earning capacity. It's very
Damn.
yeah. Plus, and for all of us,
Dude, how does it make sense to
practitioner,
fly across the country for fucking 16 people, man? Dude, you could have done
Yeah.
a YouTube show and fucking pulled
dude,
more
I
than
could have done a show on the plane, for a much more captive audience. The plane was is surprisingly full. It was pretty full. There's no social distancing on the plane. And we were on a big plane, and I would say it was about 75% full.
Wow.
Thank you, Bubby.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, I know Air Canada now they've stopped social distancing. They basically are trying to fill their flights because again, they will make no money if they. How do you make money? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense. Like, there's just going to be
doesn't make
industries
sense.
that are going to die. I mean, either just have to really cut back, or they're just going to have to change. We're just going to have to find new ways, man. Like, I'm staying optimistic. I'm not saying like, oh, we're all fucked. Like, we'll just have to find new ways of doing what we used to do and that's it. There's no like we're all trying to fight it all the time, and I feel like it's not.
The airport experience itself was interesting. It's
What was that like, man?
Thursday at 1:00, y a personne, man. It was empty.
Wow.
It was. You look at even the board with all the flights.
Yeah.
And they have, I think, so it's 1, 2, 3 times 4. They have 12 screen that usually is just a list full of planes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, eventually you get to like, say at 1:00, you'll get to 9 p.m. and then the rest don't even show up on the screen. Dude, they had the entire 24-hour cycle fitting on 3 out of 12 screen.
Jeez.
Just empty blue screen.
Yeah. Crazy.
So yeah, just like...
Yeah, just a lot
It
of
is
things are
crazy.
going down, man. Not going to be able to survive, or not going to be able to. But we'll find other ways, man. We'll enjoy things. Like I've been thinking about, like travel, especially, definitely sucks for a lot of people if you want to keep travel. But there's still flights. Like people are going places. You could still go, but I think most people are obviously just going, well, fuck, I'm not taking a chance. It's a pretty big risk to go.
I ran into my buddy Chris, actually, just coincidence. He was on the same flight from Montreal to come out here to Vancouver. He have a place out here as well. And his wife and his daughter, I think, just flew to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago. You would think that those flights, they wouldn't even
Yeah, I
exist
know.
right now.
I
but
know someone that went
there
to
are.
Portugal. Is going to Portugal, or went yesterday or today or whatever. Carolyn's friend, just but she didn't want to go. But the airline wouldn't cancel. Didn't want to refund them. So because the flight was still on, they didn't refund them the price. So she's like, well, we have no choice. Otherwise, we're just going to lose a ton of money. So
Yeah,
we
it
may
is
as well
really
just
bad.
go
The
and
airlines,
just stay, keep distance or whatever.
they just stopped refunding, which is bad. Like I just got
Pretty bad.
an email from Air Canada for a flight in October when I'm supposed to go play St. John in October, but as of right now, New Brunswick still isn't letting bless you, isn't letting all of Quebec in. And then they sent me an email saying, "Oh, your itinerary have changed. So the flight time is different." My flight time initially was 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
which gets me there at 7 a.m. So it's plenty of time to to do the show. They changed it from 6:30 a.m. to 7:40 p.m.
Wow.
So now I get there after the show starts.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's no good.
Yeah.
And so I said, give me a refund. I'll try to find another flight. And they're like, no, we don't do refund anymore. I'm like, well, people, it's fucking 2020. People will fly in for the day. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
people that are going on a
you just
business
have a
meeting.
business
You go,
trip,
you fly
yeah.
in, have the meeting at 2, and then fly out on the 6:00 flight. You're getting me there a full work day after I had booked the flight.
That's why I'm staying away from all of that stuff now, because I feel like companies minimalize what you need to put money out there for right now, because I feel like a lot of companies are not pulling what they used to, and they're trying to hold on to every dollar that they can.
Yeah.
And it's not good, because when comes to you getting your money back, forget it. So don't put your money out there. Keep it in your fucking pocket until you're absolutely like, I need this, or I want this, or I'm going for it. Because anything now, I feel like you put money out there and you're like, oh, send it to me whenever. That's why, honestly, Amazon is booming, I feel like, because Amazon is decent. Like, you call them, you're like, yeah, you fucked up. All right, fine, we'll refund you. We'll send it back, no problem.
Yeah.
But all these other companies, you call them and they're like, well, maybe you should just keep it if it's damaged, or it's going to be they're trying to convince you. You're like, no, I paid for a product. I want my fucking what I paid for. But they're struggling so much that they're trying to hold on to every dollar they can. And I think that's really, ultimately, I think if there's one thing I could say to people is, if you're putting your money out there, just hold on to it, man. Don't buy it, or you're going to buy, I want to go here.
There's so many crazy things.
Yeah.
So many crazy thing about this is that, some business, a lot of business, maybe 25% of businesses are on the verge, on the brink of collapse, and then some businesses are COVID perfect, right?
Yeah, totally worked out.
Amazon wasn't doing already well enough but now their numbers are up 40% or something over the last 6 months.
For sure, because it's easy.
They were already crushing it. No, you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
You could literally be ordering fucking masks and fucking hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes straight to your house. It's there's another there's this chicken place called Benny Barbecue near my house that I always order poutine from, they were also not knowing, but for the last 40 years have the perfect COVID fucking business. They have no salle à manger. They only do delivery. They don't have to pay
Perfect.
Uber Eat or any of those places.
Yeah.
It's direct, right? Even if you want to go there to pick it up, there's only like all they have is a comptoir.
Oh, that's perfect.
And you can socially distance, line up around the fucking building, and they have a fleet of like 27 little chicken cars. And right, it's only delivery. There's no, you don't eat, you can't eat there. So they had no salle à manger to close.
Perfect.
Right, all the restaurant had to close, scrambling to maybe they'll be able to
Good for
deliver,
them,
add
man.
their
Yeah.
thing to Uber Eats. So there's COVID ready
Yeah.
fucking business, but who would have, no one saw COVID coming.
Yeah,
So
man.
fuck.
What a wild time. Like just being in the woods. Dude, we're in the woods. You don't, first of all, you have no connection to the outside world except for a radio. At certain times you'll catch like a radio for a little bit, a shortwave radio,
Yeah.
right? You'll catch like some,
Yeah.
and you don't like, man, you don't know anything. And then you just hear what's going on. They're like, oh, the numbers are up and everything. And you're like, man, what a fucking world to live. Turn that shit
Yeah.
off, man. And you're
Yeah,
just like
being at the-
in nature, nothing to fucking worry about. No, and then as soon as you get to civilization, it's like, apportez votre masque.
Yeah.
Nettoyez-vous mains.
Stress,
It's like, holy
immediate-
shit, all right,
immediate
fuck.
stress.
Yeah, it's
know.
it sucks, man. It's definitely not a ideal thing, but I think if everyone just like, you got to pivot and bounce back, come some other avenue, man, and just figure it out. Like I think we'll all be all right in the long run. Obviously, we'll have to figure it out, but yeah, I think what's making us most depressed is that we're holding on to something. We're holding on to that old life.
Yeah, and hoping it comes back. I don't think it's ever going to be the same.
I don't think-
it's already
yeah.
it's already that far gone. Like they're already talking that masks are here to stay forever.
Yeah.
Now, will they be mandatory? Possibly not. But like, just think about it. And I hate to group people, but I think it was mostly Asian people that we would see wearing masks out in public.
Yeah, for the longest time, yeah.
Before this hit, and we're always like, "What the fuck? What did they know that we don't know?" Like what?
Yeah.
Why are they wearing masks? And now it's gonna be à grandeur, right? Everybody's gonna
Everyone.
be people that have been made fearful through this epidemic will be probably wearing masks whenever they can, all the time for the rest of their days. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I saw that, man. It's so wild to me because I was literally in LA in like, I think it was as soon as I got back, right before COVID like blew up, like I think February or whatever, I got back late February. And I was walking on the street and I started seeing people like wearing masks. And then I was on the street and I saw someone wearing a mask, an Asian woman wearing a mask. And I was like, man, it just clicked on me because of everything they were saying about COVID. And I was like, is it going to get to a point where we're all going to be like that at one point? And then fucking, dude, 3 weeks later, it just hit. And everyone's wear a mask and do everything. And I was like, this is wild. Like, because they were running the world. Really, if you look at China in general, I mean, fuck, they're running the world. They got the most fine. All their companies are booming. And I watched something on Netflix yesterday, the China Hustle. Dude, you got to watch that. Fucking crazy. They just basically been running the stock market off fake companies. And they got a whole bunch of, everyone was investing and making a fortune, but they were fake. They're not real companies. So they were opening up in American, on the American stock market, and they weren't real companies. They were just like, I mean, they were, but they were faking their numbers. And they would operate to get.
Oh fuck! Don't tell me that. I just invested fucking $6,000 in a.
No, you got to bet
Chinese.
against it. So this guy bets against them. He shorts the Chinese companies because he'll go and investigate. He'll look at a Chinese company that's booming, and he'll go there and he'll look at the factory and like he shows pictures and video and he's like, they had they're claiming they have like so much millions of dollars in business. And he's like, you would need multiple trucks leaving every day. He's like, there's one truck. And then he went into the company and like faked it and was like saying he was from some whatever regulatory thing and they just needed some information. So he asked the guy like, how many truckers do you have? And he's like, oh, we just have one trucker. So he's like, this company's going to fail. This is not a real company. So what they did is they would go to they'd come to America and they'd find, they'd operate through shell companies. So they find like a company that's like still on the stock market, but kind of really non-existent. Like they don't really do anything, but they're still registered on the stock market because they failed, but they never canceled all their shit. And then they fucking operate under this company. And now the stock is just booming. So people are buying in it, but they're like, it's not real. It's all fake. Their numbers are all fake. So they just scam the American people. And then, and this guy, and people lost millions, man. And they show at the end, like, how many billions of dollars was lost in the American stock market because of these fake Chinese companies.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, it's and that's why it kind of feels like, I know I hate we always go down this fucking hole.
Can't say I'll be surprised if the company I invested in is going to be that.
Dude. But short them. I don't even know how to short it. I was like, at the end of it, I'm like, I know how to, but I'm like, who do you talk to? Like a fucking guy that breaks kneecaps? Like, who's selling shorts? It sounds like a scam.
It's options. It's options. You do you bet against them.
Yeah, but who do you buy? Okay, through options. That's how you do it. Like, but I guess through a stockbroker, you got to go through
the exchange. It's through the exchange.
Oh yeah.
I know my account, my self-managed, my self-managed account. I can't buy options. I have to go into the bank and get them to fucking flip the switch that I can do options.
Okay, yeah.
Which is what I wanted to do for this particular investment. Instead, I bought the share just because I wanted to buy it on the day. I ended up buying them at the 52-week high, and I'm a fucking douchebag. But whatever.
But yeah, just if you get, sell as soon as if you get a bump. If you get anything like fucking up, just sell it and make some money.
I literally know several guys that have made millions trading options.
Oh, if that's shorting, then yeah,
my buddy Carrie. You know my buddy Carrie?
Yeah, is he the jukebox burger guy?
No, the jukebox burger guy. He made a lot of money with options. But
Carrie,
my buddy Carrie, his former business partner, they had a restaurant together. He just made several $1 million on Tesla options.
So betting against Tesla, is that what that means?
No, he bet on Tesla. He went for the long.
So then, what's an option?
Not even the long. An option is something. It's basically the way to purely gamble in the stock market.
Okay.
So you could pick like different length of time. So you could say in 57 day, I bet that the Tesla stock will be worth $520 per share.
Oh, okay.
Now that they've done that reverse split or whatever,
yeah,
or that split, or you could say I bet that they will not make it to $520. So it's one of the, or you could bet like any.
So it really is gambling.
Almost any length of time, and you could almost pick any value, and if it hit the value or higher, when you're betting long, when you're betting on them. You win. You get it pays, and it pays depending on how well it did. But if you're betting against them, which Tesla leading up to the split had the most ever in the history, most people betting against them in the history of the stock market.
Wow.
And those people all fucking lost, obviously, because it fucking skyrocketed. And so my friend Nick picked the right side and fucking did incredibly well. And then he actually held on to a bunch of them for the split. So when they split, he did even fucking better. When they announced the split, he's like, going to the Jaguar dealership. See you.
Shit.
Yeah, he did really,
yeah,
really, really
guys
well.
that understand the stocks right now, I think, are definitely making some coin. I just don't understand any of that, and I don't want to get in that world of dumping money.
I want to get in. This is really bad time for me. It's I've got time to study the markets more. Just have zero fucking liquid to invest.
Yeah.
Like I actually borrowed out of my line of credit that $6,000, only for it to lose 20% within days. God
damn. Yeah, no, I'm staying out of that, man. I'm holding on to my money. Buy gold, man. Fucking buy gold. That's the only thing I can think of.
Gold is at an all-time high right now. So it's not really time to buy it.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, all I know, I'm not an investment guy, but all I know is when it comes down to it, the currency has always been gold. So I feel like if currencies start to crash, gold will go up because more people.
Angela's invested in. Angela have Iraqi dinar.
Oh yeah, that's still. How has that been doing? I remember this from a couple of years ago.
It hasn't budged. They just signed the peace treaty with Israel, and it still didn't budge. It's worth 0.0011.
See, that's why I find all of this shit is bullshit. Because it's nobody knows. The rich know. They figure it all out. They all got ins and shit. Yeah. And here, meanwhile, us fucking chumps over here trying to fucking borrow money to make some money are fucking dying because they keep taking it all.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, my brilliant genius idea is printing these T-shirts.
Whatever,
and
man.
Then it turns out Turns out I'm not a really good businessman, and I like anybody that, oh, I love your T-shirt. Oh, here you go. Here, it's free. Just give it away. And no, let me pay you. No, it's okay. I'm fucking. I just ordered a bunch of women's sizes of this T-shirt.
Did you? Yeah, you got
ladies. You can have my face on your titties pretty soon.
Or you can put your face on that.
I should have made the women's T-shirt instead of this picture. Should have been the back of my head, and I just like with a little bubble going.
You should have. Carolyn's got a shirt from Airborne, the rock band, and if you flip it upside down, like if you flip it up, it has a pair of tits on the bottom half, so you don't actually flash your tits, but you can flash your shirt up to like under your tits, and the bottom part will be tits. It's kind of funny. That's a clever T-shirt for. Horse.
I don't know if you've thought of this, the irony of this actually, because so Abdul's mom actually wears a hijab, right? And I was thinking about this the other day.
Not a flashy
For the
shirt.
last like 4 or 5 years, the Quebec government like went from Parti Québécois into the coalition.
Yeah.
They were fucking lobbying, getting rid of the niqab, getting rid of the hijab. Remember that poor little girl that wanted to play soccer and the hijab was deemed unsafe?
Yeah.
I'm like, if anything, it's more safest. You should have a little bit of a layer to do the fucking...
The head button, less of a concussion.
But anyway, so they sacrifice all this, they even sacrifice their own history because, we know that in Quebec, the religiousness has drifted away. People aren't religious, but they even accepted to take down the cross and everything to pretend that it wasn't a xenophobic fucking legislation, that it was all religious symbol. If you wear a cross, you have to hide it under your shirt and that, but the face covering, absolutely not. Even that interview you did with the guy in fucking Hérouville, whatever, like you can't stone people in the street, but you also made the niqab illegal. Right? Face covering, no. If you're a public servant, you can't wear hijab or niqab.
Teachers,
And now all of a sudden, COVID hits. Mandatory face covering for everybody.
Hijabs for all. Niqabs for all, actually.
Niqabs for all.
Niqabs for all.
Pretty fucking ironic.
Yeah, it is hilarious that they fucking wasted all that money campaigning, making posters, doing all this fucking shit, trying to change the laws. And then literally
turning other people that otherwise had no opinion about it, turn them into xenophobic fucking douchebags. Yeah,
because now they're fucking arguing.
Now that we came up with a reason to cover our face, maybe this is, maybe back in, it's undocumented, but back in Mohammed's time, maybe they say that we've been having these every 100 years. Maybe that's where the niqab came from.
Yeah, maybe it did. Maybe a fucking...
Cover the women's face. We don't want to make the baby sick.
Someone had a wicked cough. And then they fucking made all the women. It was spreading amongst the women.
They called it shisha lung back in the time.
Shisha lung.
Shisha lung.
Oh, man. And now we're all fucking covering our faces and wait till winter. Fuck, Jesus. Imagine wintertime. You're going to have to wait outside in a line to get into a store. Eee.
Yeah.
Wash your hands outside in the Rona parking lot. I don't know if that's going to work. The fucking hoses are all frozen.
Walking in with ice mittens.
Oh, God. It's going to be fucking weird as hell. But, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, that's what I said. Just enjoy it, man, and like, embrace it and just trying to have more fun. And now that I got my truck all set up, yeah, man, I'm fucking ready to go into the wilderness when I want and just enjoy that and live with what you got.
Like you, though, I'll say we rented that cottage for a week, and it's you kind of forgot for a week because we were with, we were just in our bubble with
your
our
friends,
family and stuff.
Family that came. That's it.
And you forget that all this garbage is happening. Then you leave and you go to gas up to get home, and you're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
I gotta put this.
And the one thing I missed too is when you started thinking too, you're like, oh man, remember like we used to go to live shows and like concerts and.
Yeah.
You'd fucking, I don't know, man. We used to have, that's not going to happen, but there's other things that we can do to fill that void, and that's what we need to focus on and just do it instead of like, oh, I miss those times where we used to like sweat all over each other.
doing the wave at a sporting event.
I miss the wave. I miss yelling at that fucking player that missed the shot. Fucking asshole. You just gotta adapt, man, and live like you're fucking. And you look at you went out to BC, but I mean that's great. I thought about that. I was like, I wonder what it's gonna be like. So now that first show was 16 people. What's the rest? And then you're going to.
Well, tonight
What's the
there's
rest?
2 shows. The last I heard, there was 2 show, but they were thinking of cutting it down to 1 show because I think we only have like 10 for each.
God damn.
So I don't know, man. I can't help you, like you say. We all have to adapt and whatever, and I can't help but take it personally. I'm feeling like, oh my God, did COVID wipe out like my people don't want to see me anymore?
That's not what it is. I think that's why it's hurting a lot, is because people are starting to fucking feel it like, oh man, is like my career just finished now? Because no, just find people still like you. Just find another way to get to them. You used to have to travel to their little town, but they're all at home, so they're waiting for you to fucking do something at home or do whatever you can do that they can watch at home.
As you know, because I've invited you to every one, but you never come. Those online shows.
Yeah.
I've done 6 of them, and I'm truly grateful and so thankful that anybody would sign in online to watch me. But every one I've done, it's been like if I was a fucking stock on the exchange, my fucking value is fucking down.
Well, now here's
the first one was gangbusters because it was new. I think I got ahead of the curve. I did the first one on March 22nd, I think, like that. So I was right there when everyone was starting.
Yeah.
It did great, and then the next one was about half the people. 2 in a row were about the same. About 100 people came. The first one, I think we had 390 people that signed into the live show online. And the last one, I can't help but think too. Somebody told me that Facebook and Instagram changed their algorithm for what they show, like for people to see your posts or whatever. And I think because my posts promoting the show were all kind of advertising, and I don't pay the advertising.
Right.
They weren't showing my posts to people.
Very
because
true.
Until the day of the event, I had like 5 people that were signed up. Ultimately, I ended up with like 47, which again, to those 47 people, I'm so grateful that you would want to come hang out with me in my yard, just listen to me fucking talk bullshit.
Yeah.
We had a great time. It was super fun. But in terms of revenue stream, I mean, if I was counting on only that, fuck.
But now what you got to do is also take into consideration it's the middle of summer, that the numbers were going down. People are not fucking sitting indoors and watching shit online. They're outside in their yard, or they're going camping or visiting or fucking, Well,
this one, I did it last Saturday, September 12th. I figure I'll do it not the first weekend that's right before school start. I did it the weekend after school start, and
I don't know. I mean, wait till the snow falls. That's what I'm curious to see when it gets colder and people are really going to be sitting indoors. Like, I think now people are still trying to take advantage of every last bit of no snow or fucking ice or whatever. So they're still getting out. They're renting cottages. They're going out to places. And I'm sure they'll still keep renting cottages and getting out. But I think a lot of people are going to be at home and just looking for stuff to do at home. As time moves on. Also, they're probably going to start updating their house, like computer screens, TVs in the winter, and probably like, oh man, that'd be sick. We can fucking see a live show on this new giant screen.
That's what I should actually start doing at my online show. Start advertising the fact that I also do home renovation now.
Yeah, installing like fucking
an
new
hour
TVs
and a half
and
long
shit.
infomercial. Let's see of me like, hey, are you stuck at home? You thinking of redoing your bathroom? Call Derek Seguin, Dick Joke, fucking Plomberie. Here we go.
Dick Joke Plomberie. That'd be great if you open up a company called Dick Joke Plomberie. That's fucking hilarious. Flowing with dick jokes. That'll be. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. It's. I think it'll be all right in a little bit, man. I feel like I'm trying to enjoy the things that are still good and not focus on.
Yeah, and at the end of the day too, I have to.
And that's it.
When I start to complain, I'm like, Derek, you're still fucking way luckier than.
Dude, it's all still good. Don't let it get to you. Don't let the size of live shows fuck with you. I think there's obviously a lot out there still that we can be doing, and it's gonna keep building. I think now we're trying to figure out how to make it build, and like even production companies that are doing stuff are trying to figure out how the hell to make it happen still. They're not going to disappear. I mean, fuck, there's still TV commercials. There's still, there's still things that they're going to have to create. Otherwise, you're going to lose a ton of money, a ton. And like, there's no reason that you can't create content that doesn't have to be. I mean, look at all all those TV shows that are like talk shows. They're all doing it from home. I wonder what their ratings are. I'm sure they're still not amazing. Like, I don't know if they lost a lot. I doubt they would lose a ton of ratings just because they're doing it from home. So you just got to bounce back, man. Do it a different way. I mean, yeah, of course you won't have a live sitcom with fucking makeout scenes or whatever the hell they do on those.
And at the end of the day, like it's things are, like my career's taken a huge hit and a step back. But again, we're all in it, right? So many people are going through the same thing. So, and at the end of the day, I still have a roof over my head. We've never lacked for food. It's not like we're all eating fucking gruel every night. I'm still eating meat, and so I have to stop feeling. I don't feel sorry for myself. I try to be. It's optimism that turns into
discouraging.
Like wishing. I hope it come back. I hope it's
that's
okay.
it. And I think that's what's making everyone more depressed. Like that's what makes me more depressed, because I keep like, when you think about it, you're like, man, maybe the shows will come. And you're like, no, it's not. Just fucking embrace the new style and the new thing that you got to do, and that's it. And just make it fucking, just focus.
Hey, are you still good to open for me in Laval?
Laval? When is that?
October 2nd.
October 2nd?
Yeah.
I'm going to open for you in Laval?
You say it so incredulously.
Yeah, you know
We've
what?
talked about this like 4 times.
I'll come by and do it. October 2nd. I'm putting it in my calendar right now.
Friday, October 2nd.
Friday, October 2nd. I'm going to open for Derek for the first time in fucking a year.
6 months.
8 months probably. 7. No, yeah. What we did in February, we were on the road.
Since February, yeah.
God damn.
Fuck, good thing we got that done when we did, eh? Like we did it in February rather than March. Imagine I had to cancel all my own fucking theater rentals and shit.
Suck balls, dude. Good thing.
Yeah, we got lucky. We got lucky.
Oh man, there you go. All right, I'm fucking doing that one. I'm doing that. How's it even doing? Is there anyone going to the show? What are we doing? I'm doing the Comedy Nest also on September 27th. Just going to do a spot. I'm going to try it out.
That's Jamie's birthday. Jamie's birthday, September 27th. She'll be 21 years old.
Oh my God, 21.
I have a 21-year-old now. Crazy.
God damn,
she
you're an
can
old
drink
bastard.
in America.
You're an old bastard.
She can't go to America, but she could drink there.
Should take her to the border and just show her what it looks like. You could have been drinking there instead.
So what they're doing for the show in Laval, it's a part of Laval en Rire. They give me my own. I'm doing a one-man show. Yes, it's in English. It's at Cabaret C. Yeah, Cabaret C. And because of what the situation, normally I think the place holds close to 300 people. They've cut it at 100 people and social distance and all that. So, and I think there's like 28 tickets left right as we sit right now.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Of the 100.
Not bad, man. Jeez. Live shows. The live shows. I do have a P.O. box, and I keep forgetting to plug it, and I got to tell the address. It is Abdul Butt, P.O. Box 43511, DDO, H8Y3P4. Putting that on the screen.
DDO,
Send me
Quebec.
something, and we'll talk about it on the podcast. Send me a postcard. Send me a whatever. That'd be fun. Get something weird, and then we'll whatever. We'll talk about it on the podcast. I don't know. I'm trying to link to the people without being in the same room, because we can't do that anymore as much, so it sucks. And yeah, man,
bucks.
yeah, definitely. It's fun being like trying to figure out new ways. I'm enjoying it. I think finally.
We did on the last show. I ran a contest. So for the people that actually came, I did a contest and I gave away some T-shirt and whatever, some little swag.
Your live show.
At the live show
Okay.
on the web.
Cool.
And the contest I did was go to Angela's Instagram. So I gave Angela's Instagram handle and tell Angela will put a post right now, and as live on the spot she posted, you know what you have to do. Tell me, answer Derek's question from the live show. And the contest was put a present that you think I should buy for Angela, and her 3 favorite things that you suggest I buy for her will win a prize. And we did it, and we now we gave away 3 prizes.
Cool, that's awesome. See, that's fun.
Now I have to go to fucking Tiffany's to buy a fucking tennis bracelet or something.
That sounds like a horrible contest. You should not have
I
done
know.
that.
I got to rethink that. Well, halfway through, for the first time, you know how shy Angela is, right? She never wanted to come on the thing. But at this show, in the yard, I always invite 10 people, friends.
Yeah.
So Angela's with her own people there, and she's on the other side of the camera. all of a sudden she starts fucking heckling me. She's fucking chiming in, screaming shit at me like something like I start telling like the blowjob story. She's like, haven't sucked your dick in like 6 months, you fucking loser. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love that she flew all the way to Vancouver just to heckle you.
yeah, just to heckle me. Halfway through the show, I changed the contest to be like, name a place that I should fucking jerk off and jizz in. Evangela's like. Like the best place I should hide a load of jizz that she fucking discovered it late.
Was the face towel the winner?
So, like in her slipper. Her slipper was the winner.
Her slipper. Gosh,
right in the slipper.
Right in the slipper. That sounds dirty. Right in the slipper.
It's our new porn movie we're producing.
Right in the slipper.
Fuck, I'm right in the slipper.
Oh, man. That's great. That's wild, man. Vancouver. And where are you heading next, though, after this?
Well, Angela. So again, Angela's on this little trip with me, so we're making a little trip out of it.
Cool.
From here, our friend Doug is gonna come pick us up. Doug, the pilot.
That's awesome. You're gonna see Doug.
He's gonna fly us from Vancouver to Calgary, and then we'll hang out in Calgary from Monday to Thursday. Angela's best friend live in Calgary.
Okay.
So we'll hang out there, and then from Calgary, I head up to Edmonton to play Rick Bronson's comic strip.
Awesome.
In the West Edmonton Mall.
That's
from
so
September
cool that Doug's going to go pick you up.
27. Yeah, how cool is that, right?
That's very cool, man. So you guys are flying out of which airport, though, in Vancouver? Like, how do you...
It's called...
must be like a small one, right? Just a small airport?
It's a small one. It's like 40 minutes from Vancouver Airport.
That's so cool.
So I rented a car while we're out here. I have to bring the car back to the Vancouver Airport, then take like $100 Uber to get to the little airport.
Oh, man.
But still, traveling in style should, when you're living the rock star lifestyle, there should be some expenditure that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, you're going to pay that $100 Uber.
Yeah.
Doug, man, I wish Doug flew a plane that landed on water, man. I'd tell him to come down. Let's go to the lake. Let's go to the lake, man.
Actually,
right to the camp.
There's this guy. I've been talking to this guy, Russ Anderson, online. Like he's a fan, whatever, that we talk on Facebook and thing like that. Like great show, and he, oh, thanks so much. He came to the show last night. He live on Vancouver Island,
okay,
and he have his own plane.
Wow.
So he's like, for him to go from the island to Vancouver, it's no big whoop,
Yeah.
whatever. He's lived everywhere, so he's very accustomed to it. So yeah, he flew in last night for the show, and Port Hardy, I think he said he lived, which is like the tip of Vancouver Island before you head out into the Pacific.
Wow, that's so cool,
Yeah.
man. That's
But yeah,
something
talking
that's
to him,
like if you
he's-
fly your own plane or you can somehow get a helicopter or something. What a fucking way of life.
Yeah.
You don't have to
So-
worry about traveling. Like,
Yeah.
man, going up to that camp, you're like driving on logging roads, and you know how nice it would be to just like take off and land right at the lake. No portage, no schlepping through the.
Is there enough open area at your cabin that you could land a helicopter?
No, not a helicopter, unless it has those
No.
floats that it lands on the lake or something. Then you can totally do
Okay.
that. Yeah, the planes land on the lake if you want to take. You can take a plane there, but yeah, you gotta land on the lake. There's no open area, but with time, man, I might chop down a
You could
helipad.
clear some land.
Yeah.
Clear some land.
No,
yeah,
I thought
that's
about it. I
it.
was thinking about it last night, actually. I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder how much it is. Because they have those, like, I think it's a Quebec company that makes small helicopters. Like, they're commercial, not commercial, what are they? Consumer helicopters. I think you're allowed to own them. And it's like 20 grand. And I think they give you, and it's not that hard to fly. I think they give you like a weekend course to fly them. I don't think you need like an actual.
What?
I don't think you need I could be wrong. I got to look this in, but I remember seeing it, and I think it's small enough that it's just basic, and it doesn't go high enough. Like it's just a helicopter that flies. I don't know how many 100 yards or whatever, hundreds of yards
Dude,
up.
I've tried flying a helicopter. It is not fucking easy.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
would not.
But it's definitely, they're smaller, and they use them like, I think like the Quebec company, I remember seeing a thing on it on TV, and I think they sold them a lot to like search and rescue, because they're so tiny that you
Okay.
can fly and land on basically a small opening. You don't need like a whole huge area of land to land on.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I wonder what those are now. Like, I wonder if like,
I know in Japan
20
they're working
grand?
on like the flying car, and it work on the same sort of engineering. The principle is the same as like drones. So it's like four propeller, whatever. So it's more intuitive in terms like you turn this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the vehicle that they're working on, it's more stable because of the four. Like I tried flying a helicopter, man. I'm telling you, it's not intuitive at all. Like you push forward and it take a beat before it react. Like a plane, when you turn the fucking
Yeah.
whatever the thing's called, it goes that way right away. A helicopter, it takes a second for the pitch to change
Yeah,
and
it's
catch
got
the
to
wind
bend
and go.
and then it'll start pulling it with the
So
air. Yeah.
in Japan, there's a company in Japan that's working on a flying car, basically, but it's work on the drone principle. So it's very stable, right? Like you go forward, it goes forward, and
Yeah.
that would be. So I hope that happened in our lifetime.
that'd
That
be
it's that's an, that you could grab one for $50,000 or whatever.
It'd be pretty ideal, like if you could. But I mean, then there'd just be way too many people flying around. That would be annoying. I
Yeah.
gotta say, man, the world is fucked, dude. When you're up there, dude, you're looking at the sky. Remember how you used to look at the sky and all you would see were stars? Dude, now, fuck, when you're in the middle of nowhere, no one in sight, no electrical lines, no fucking nothing. You look up at the sky and all you see is stars and fucking satellites. And
Yeah,
a lot of
satellites.
satellites, man. Like, dude, they're just, one goes by this way, another one that way, one almost crosses paths. You're like, what the hell is going on up there? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty discouraging when you see that. When you see that and you're like, it used to be where you can stare up into the stars and just wonder what was out there. And now you look up at the sky and you're like, oh, yeah, they're all just fucking looking right back down at me.
Yeah. I wonder if that's Elon's. Oh,
Yeah.
That's NASA.
Does that belong
Okay.
to Best Buy? Oh, there's fucking Amazon's. You know, like, fuck off with the. There's just too
don't know.
much, man.
It doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't
That's
bother you that
advancement.
there's
I
just
like
like fucking trash floating around in the sky? Like they literally have littered every corner of our universe. They've littered it all. The oceans, the lakes, they've put
Our
things.
universe. We're such a speck. We're nothing.
Well, yeah, but our complete planet is covered.
Our planet.
Every fucking corner of it is covered in trash from
Yeah.
humans.
The oceans, the space, the
Everything
the
is
sky.
covered in trash from. It's kind of, I don't know. It's gross. I don't like it. It grosses me out.
Yeah. I wish we would clean up the water. That would be nice.
Yeah, the water, that'd be nice for sure. I mean, how much junk's in there? And then, but I mean, it's not. They're already polluting the sky, and for what? What do you need so many? I mean, aside from like the internet, satellite radio, GPS location.
Yeah, we got to get those dick jokes out to Just for Laughs Canada.
No, but I
man.
mean, like,
Sirius XM.
apart from
Tune
like
in.
a couple of those things that are like, oh, okay, those are fun and usable. Like, what else are the satellites do? Why are there so many? What are they all doing? And like,
don't know.
I think like a lot of companies have their own satellites now. Like, it's not like a hard thing to
should get-
acquire.
We should get a bacon, no bacon
We
satellite.
should get
then.
a
Let's
bacon,
fucking
no
do it.
bacon
Bacon, no
satellite.
bacon satellite.
And then we can just broadcast from
It's
space.
just squealing through the air like, wah, wah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I guess you just got to embrace the
I wish I
satellites.
could show people. Like, I'm going to try. I'm going to have to carry all this shit, but to show you how small, like Vancouver already is often cloudy, but
Yeah, let's see
I'm
how
gonna try to show-
smoggy it is.
can I flip my camera? Yeah, okay. Check it. Whoops. Oh, Christ. Where is this plugged into?
Oh, there you go. Wow, it is small. And but is that like overcast in Vancouver, or is that from the smog?
No, this is the smoke. Like, look, you can't even see in the distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's wild.
Like it's, we have 500 meter of visibility and then zero.
That's pretty wild, yeah. Yeah, that's bad, man.
Like even when you look close, that's hazy.
And how does it
It's
feel
not
when
a
you're
dirty
breathing
camera
outside?
lens.
I know you're not the best person to judge air quality.
But it's funny. It's funny that you asked that because this morning I woke up and I felt I had like a funny taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I asked Angela, like, do you have something from the smoke? And she's like, no. So for me as a smoker to feel a weirdness, I thought that was.
And you're not smoking a different brand?
No. It was like like dry mouth with like a
Yeah, no, it will get to your for sure.
because we had the windows open. It was very
Yeah,
hot
for
when
sure.
we got here yesterday, so we had all the windows open, and I think it got in me.
Yeah, for sure. I know when I was in LA last year and the wildfires, like you just, we went to go buy an air purifier, like a really good one, because you could taste it and you feel it, like, and it's harder to breathe. And you just, and man, we put on that air purifier, and within like 2 hours, like you're like, whoa, the air
Really?
feels, oh man, night and day, crazy.
wow.
Yeah, we got a good one because you have to get the ones that have the carbon filter because it picks up the tiny particles. And but you see it like when we were in LA, Carolyn would go to work, and in Beverly Hills, you'd see ashes falling from the sky. So that's
No
how close
shit.
you were from it, that you see ashes. And even like in where we lived, you'd see it some days depending on the wind. You'd see it falling, and then the sky. Like I remember once, I think I snapped pictures of it. Like as it came over the mountains, you just see like a cloud of. It was like Independence Day. Like you see a cloud of fucking blackness coming over.
Oh man.
And then within an hour, I went out on the streets and everything was hazy. Like you just see like a haze in front of you. It was.
It's crazy when you think, because where I am right now, I think we're like 1,500 miles from the fires.
It's fucking,
and it's
yeah,
here.
the wind will
I don't know if
blow
you
it.
remember a few years ago. Remember Mount Vesuvius, or one of the big volcanoes
Vesuvius.
in Europe
Yeah.
erupted, and the smoke cloud, it closed all the airports in Europe. It was all
Wasn't
the
it
way
in
to
Iceland?
Greenland.
Or in Greenland or Iceland, there was a volcano that exploded, and yeah, there was flights canceled.
Okay, and then it went all the way. Yeah, it went all the way
Yeah.
to. Then it went all the way to Europe, and yeah, there was zero visibility,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
That's
we're
crazy, man.
we're very susceptible to, like, we're at the will of the planet. Like the Earth could
Yeah.
just choose to fucking kill us all in an instant, man. You can't do
Yeah.
shit. Like it's
things like that
crazy, and you see that
make you feel pretty
the camp,
small.
like when we're at the camp, dude, it was hard because you gotta gauge your time with the weather to cross, because you gotta you're portaging all your shit across the lake, and
Yeah.
and then after you have to cross the lake in a canoe. So fuck, at one point, like the weather, we're like, we either go for it now, and it's a little choppy, or we wait and see if anything calms down. But it's been 2 days of choppiness, so. We just saw a little break in the clouds, and like a little bit of the wind would slow down. But even still, we were trying to paddle, and the water was just pulling us right to the center of the lake where the fucking waves were way
Really?
out of hand. Yeah, like no way. So we were both on the same side paddling. My uncle and I were just paddling like crazy, trying to stay to the side. And honestly, the opposite side that you should. It was so weird. The waves were going technically should be pushing us towards the side, towards the shore, but for some
Yeah.
reason we were getting sucked out into the middle of the lake. So
Is it a pretty big lake?
I'd say it's about maybe a kilometer long,
Okay.
and maybe, I don't know, 300 feet wide. In certain areas it like goes wider, but I'd say like the cusp of like where we cut across, I'd say about maybe 300
Right.
feet wide. So it's a decent size, man. And like the weather, the day before we left, man, the rain was pouring down, and the wind, it looked like an ocean. Like it's crazy when
Wow.
when it's a beautiful day and the lake is just like like when it gets like a mirror, it seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the smallest lake in the world. You're just like, oh man, this lake is like mine almost. Like it's so small, I could do whatever I want on it. And when the wind blows, you're like, get me the fuck away from this devil lake. Look at this thing. It's going to swallow me whole. Yeah, man, dude, the earth is it's pretty wild, man. The weather. And then you appreciate the shit out of the animals. Like, how do they live through this? Like, it doesn't even faze them. Like, they live through weather, you know? Like, and we're like, get
Yeah.
me shelter. I'm going to die.
yeah.
We're
They're
the
just chilling out there.
Yeah, we're totally not the dominant species. I guess like we are because we have guns, but otherwise survival
And other tools.
yeah, other
like
tools and
shelters
fire
things like
and
that.
all that shit we figured out. But like really, we're not. Especially people that live in the city that have never really done anything like outdoorsy. They are so dead.
Are you are you a football fan?
No, I watch it, but I'm not like I don't know who's doing what and anything. I do enjoy
I'm
football. Though.
I'm super excited that the NFL is back.
Oh,
I'm
is the
very
NFL back now?
excited
And they're
about it.
playing at full everything, or no? Because I heard college football they're gonna play, right? Or did they
College
start?
football they canceled. No, they canceled college.
They canceled it,
Yeah, I think so.
and then
But
the NFL is
NFL's
like,
back.
we'll
Some
fucking pick it
stadiums,
up.
some stadium are doing no fans. Some stadium are doing minimal. Like there's I forget which one it was. In game
Arizona
week
will be
one,
full. Texas, is there
The-
Texas? Is there a football team in Texas?
Texas. There's the
Of course,
Texans,
there's got to be.
Houston Texans. But
Arizona.
anyway, one of them there was an 80,000 seat stadium and they had 17,000 people in it instead. But some of them are going no fans at all. But it might be a fun little segment of our show. You'll be disappointed, but I actually placed some bets. I got so excited about football coming back, I placed a couple of bets. But not for betting, but I'm gonna maybe we have
For
a weekly
losing,
segment.
are we
where
doing a segment on what not to bet on?
Maybe it could based on my track record. But I thought maybe I could make my picks. I'll make picks and see. Then the next week we'll see how I did with my picks. So
Right.
if you don't mind, we didn't consult
Dude,
about this.
go
I just
ahead.
got
You
an
want to
idea
do
it.
You want to gamble. You're your own human.
No, not a gamble. Just the picks, no spreads or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pick the winners. So yesterday there was the Bengals and the Browns that played. I honestly would have picked the Bengals and the Browns won, but so then we got the Giants and the Bears on Sunday. I'm actually going Bears.
Okay, Derek's going Bears.
The Rams and the Eagles. I'm definitely going Rams. The Eagles are falling apart. They look like shit. Falcons Cowboys. I mean, I gotta go Falcons. The Cowboys are just not sinking right now, and their quarterback Dak Prescott's been getting run through the ringer because of being honest about some mental health things, which I want him to do well, but he's dealing with so much media bullshit that I think the Falcons are gonna take that one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is where Tom Brady plays now. They're meeting the Panthers, which is where Cam Newton played for 10 years. And now Cam Newton is the quarterback in New England, which is crazy. So Tom Brady against the Panthers at home. I'm going to take Tampa Bay for sure. They almost pulled a win out last week. So the Bucks there. 49ers Jets, pretty easy. 49ers should win it, although I was shocked that the 49ers lost last week. I think the Broncos took out the 49ers. Or no, the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals beat the 49ers last week, which was a shocker for me. But then there's the Broncos Steelers. Steelers are looking pretty good. I'm going to go Steelers there. Jaguars Titans. I really like the Titans in that one. They look like their offense is really sinking. The Lions Packers. Packers all the way. Easy. Bills Dolphins. The Bills are still a very strong team. Bills are going to dominate the Dolphins. Vikings, Colts. The Colts are looking all right, but the Vikings have they're too many veterans. They're a machine right now. The Vikings are going to take the Colts. Now, Washington Football Club. That's it. They don't even have a team anymore. There's no team name. Every
They
other
just
team is
call
like Bills,
themselves
Dolphins,
the
Lions,
Washington
Packers.
Football Club.
The Washington Football Team. Yeah, that's
What they did. Hey man,
because they got rid of the Redskins.
funny.
Now they're just
they should. I'm
Washington
glad. And is
Football
that
Team.
forever, or they just is it?
They're just waiting to pick a team, a name. I
I think
guess
the Washington
it's
Football Team is It's a great fuck you for just like
It is.
Here, you want to
Not
complain
bad.
about our team name? We're just gonna call ourselves the
Yeah.
football team. How about that?
Our mascot is a W. It's just a W. That's all we got. So Washington versus the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals there. Their little quarterback is so fast and so good. Baltimore Ravens against the Texans. I mean, the Texans are a good team, but Lamar Jackson, I think, is unbeatable. I go Ravens there. And if the over is over 50 points, I'm saying that'll be an easy bet on the over-under. The Ravens are going to score 35 points easy. After that, Chiefs-Chargers, definitely Chiefs. And then the Patriots, Cam Newton-led Patriots against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. It's in Seattle. I gotta say, I think the Seattle is gonna take that game. That's gonna be a really good game, Sunday night game. But I'm gonna pick Seahawks over the Patriots. And then New Orleans Saints Raiders on Monday. I gotta say, I think the Raiders don't stand much of a chance. The Las Vegas Raiders now, by the way, the Raiders playing in Vegas. This is their first home game.
Oh yeah,
The Raiders
they're not
are playing
in LA anymore.
The Saints
right?
are going to. No, they're in Vegas. So this is the first time the stadium will be used for football. I bet you anything it's going to be social distance. It's not going to be an empty stadium in Vegas. They're going to let people
Vegas
in there
will
for sure.
definitely keep it.
But I totally think the Saints are going to take that one. And that's it. That's the picks for the week. We will consult next week to see how I did.
Yeah, you got to write that down and send it to me now so you don't fucking change anything. Send me your circled, write your list down and send me the circled team of who you're picking. We'll put it up on the screen.
Okay.
Then we got all your picks. Derek's fucking gambling again. Is this a thing now? Are you gonna gamble everyone, or are you just gonna pick on them and just go with that? Or you?
I'm gonna try. I don't want to start gambling again. I might gamble this week just because I lost some last week. I'll try to get back to zero, and then maybe just try to limit myself to $100 a week or something like that.
How about just pretend gambling on the podcast? How about that?
Yeah, well, if I get a hot hand, man, I could use the revenue stream. All right, we did a long podcast.
Once I start fucking digging into the gambling problems, and you're like, all right, well, that's been enough, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
it's been a good
once
podcast.
It starts to feel like an intervention, once it feels like an intervention, it's time to cut the podcast.
All right, man. Well, that was good. We had a good little segment, little episode.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you next week, man. Enjoy the show. How are you? You're going to be out there next week as well. We're doing this from Vancouver or BC or Edmonton.
We could do it from Alberta next week. So if we do like Tuesday or Wednesday,
buddy. So we'll catch you in
Tuesday
Alberta.
or Wednesday, I'll be in Calgary. Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
Cool beans, man.
Stay safe.
You too.
Have fun.